I am 79 years old, and last week I found a single piece of yellowed, brittle paper in a box in my garage that absolutely destroyed me. It wasn't a love letter. It wasn't a debt notice. It was a list. I wrote it in 1971, 54 years ago. I was 24. I had a full head of dark hair, strong knees, and I felt like I was going to live forever. On that paper, in my messy 24-year-old handwriting, were 8 things, 8 dreams, 8 things I swore to myself I was going to do with my life before I died. They weren't impossible things. I didn't write become president or go to the moon. They were simple. Learn to play the piano, write a book about my grandfather's life, travel to Ireland to see where my family came from, learn to speak Italian, build a small wooden boat with my own hands, take a photography class, learn to paint landscapes, hike the Appalachian Trail. 8 things. Do you know how many of those 8 things I have done in the last 54 years? 0. Not one. And it isn't because I couldn't do them. I wasn't in prison. I wasn't destitute. I had my health. I had the ability. I didn't do them because of one single word. A word that I guarantee you have used at least once today. A word that feels safe and responsible and logical. That word is later. Here is what nobody tells you when you are young, and if you are under 40, I need you to listen to this, because your life depends on it. You think later means someday. You think later is a promise. You think it means I will do this when the conditions are better, when I have more money, when the kids are older, when work calms down, when I'm not so tired, when I'm ready. But I am 79 years old. I am at the end of the road, and I can tell you with absolute certainty what later actually means. Later is a code word for never. Later is the lie you tell yourself to avoid the fear of starting. Later is a soft pillow you scream into so you don't hear the clock ticking. I have maybe 10 years left if I'm lucky, probably 5. Maybe I don't wake up tomorrow. And I spent 54 years waiting for the perfect time to start living. The perfect time never came. And now, for many of those dreams, the time has run out entirely. Let me walk you through how this happens, because it doesn't happen all at once. You don't wake up one day and decide to give up on your life. It happens slowly, quietly, in reasonable, logical whispers. When I found that list, I sat on the dusty concrete floor of my garage and I cried, because I could remember exactly who I was when I wrote it. I was young, I was confident, I was certain I had all the time in the world. Then came my late 20s. At 26, I looked at that list, learn piano, and I said, I can't right now. I'm just starting my career. I need to focus. I need to impress the boss. I'll learn piano later, when I'm settled. That sounded smart. It sounded responsible. Then came my 30s. When I was 30, my neighbor, a nice woman named Mrs. Gable, was moving to a nursing home. She was selling her upright piano, beautiful dark wood. She offered it to me for $50. $50. I stood in her living room. I ran my hand over the keys. I could feel the music inside it. I wanted it. But then the voice came. We're saving for a house, I told myself. We have a baby on the way. The house is too small for a piano right now. I'll get one later, when we have more space, when we have more money. I walked away. That was 46 years ago. I never bought the piano. Then came my 40s. This is the one that haunts me the most. Item number 2. Write a book about my grandfather. My grandfather was a tough man. He fought in the First World War. He had stories that would make your hair stand on end. He was getting old, frail. Every time I visited him, he'd start telling a story, and I'd think, I need to get a tape recorder. I need to sit down and really interview him. But I was 42. I was a manager at work. My kids were teenagers. Life was chaos. I told myself, I'll do it next summer. I'll take a week off work, go down there, and we'll get it all written down. Later. He died 3 weeks later. I stood at his funeral, looking at his casket, and I realized that an entire library had just burned down. All those stories, all that history, gone because I was too busy. Because I waited for later. Then came my 50s. At 55, my company offered a sabbatical program, 3 months off, partially paid. I looked at the list. Travel to Ireland, hike the Appalachian Trail. It was right there, the golden ticket. But fear crept in. If I leave for 3 months, will they replace me? Will I miss out on a promotion? Am I too old to be hiking up mountains? My back hurts sometimes. So I declined the sabbatical. I told my wife, we'll do the big travel when I retire. Then we'll have all the time in the world. We'll do it later. 21 years have passed since that day. I still haven't been to Ireland. Do you see the pattern? Every decade, the excuse changed. In your 20 seconds, you don't have the money. In your 30 seconds and 40 seconds, you don't have the time. In your 50 seconds and 60 seconds, you don't have the energy. There is always a reason to wait, and every single reason sounds logical. You aren't being lazy. You are being practical. You are being a good provider. You are being sensible. But I am here to tell you that you are lying to yourself. We use later as a shield against the possibility of failure. If I never try to write the book, I never have to face the fact that I might be a bad writer. If I never try to learn Italian, I never have to feel stupid when I conjugate the verbs wrong. Later keeps the dream safe. It keeps the dream perfect. As long as it's in the future, it can't be ruined. But a perfect dream that never happens is worthless. A messy, imperfect life that you actually lived is worth infinitely more. You want to know what kills me the most? It's not that I failed. If I had tried to build that boat and it sank in the lake, I could live with that. I would have a story. I would have a memory of sawdust and glue and the smell of cedar. What kills me is the silence, the nothingness, the 52 years of blank space where those memories should be. So, back to the garage. I looked at that list. I looked at my hands, old hands, liver spots, arthritis in the knuckles. I realized I couldn't bear it anymore. The weight of that word later was crushing my chest. I took the list inside. I put it on the kitchen table. It sat there for 3 days, mocking me. Then, last Tuesday, I did something I haven't done in 54 years. I got in my car and I drove to the music store in town. I walked in. A young kid with piercings and green hair asked if I needed help finding a gift for my grandson. I looked him in the eye and said, "No, I want to learn to play." I bought a keyboard, $300, a cheap one. I brought it home. I set it up on the dining room table. I went on YouTube. I found a video, Piano for Absolute Beginners. I have been practicing for 5 days. And let me tell you the truth, I am terrible. My fingers don't want to move independently. My left hand is clumsy. I have no rhythm. I sound like a toddler banging on pots and pans. But every morning, I sit there for 30 minutes and I play. And for the first time in 54 years, the silence is gone. I am finally killing later. And next month, I'm going to Ireland. I booked the tickets yesterday, non-refundable. My wife thinks I'm having a midlife crisis. Well, an end-of-life crisis. Maybe I am. My knees are bad. I won't be able to hike the cliffs like I could have at 30. I'll probably have to take a bus tour instead of walking the trails. But I don't care. I am going to breathe that air. I am going to see those green hills. I am out of laters. Now, I am talking to you. Yes, you, holding your phone, sitting at your desk, lying in bed. What is on your list? You know what it is. As I've been talking, it's been popping into your head. Maybe it's a business you want to start. Maybe it's a person you need to forgive. Maybe it's a skill you want to learn. Maybe it's a place you need to go. And I can hear your brain starting to make the list of excuses. I'll do it next year. I need to save a little more money first. I'm too tired today. Stop it. Stop waiting for the green lights. If you wait for all the lights to turn green before you leave the driveway, you will never drive through town. The lights will never all be green. You have to drive anyway. Here is my challenge to you. Do not let another day end with later. You don't have to quit your job today. You don't have to move to a new country today. But you have to take one step, one real, tangible step. If you want to write a book, write one paragraph today, just one. If you want to get in shape, do 10 push-ups today, just 10. If you want to learn an instrument, watch one lesson today. Do not go to sleep tonight until you have done one thing that moves you off of zero. Because, look at me, look at my face. I am your future if you don't wake up. I am the ghost of Christmas future. Don't wake up at 79 with a piece of paper that makes you cry. Don't let your stories die with you like my grandfathers did. Time is not a renewable resource. You cannot get it back. You think you have time. You don't. You have now. That is all you have. If this video hit you in the gut, I want you to do something for me. Go to the comments right now, and I want you to write down the ON thing you have been putting off. Write it down. Make it real. Don't keep it in your head. And tell me the one step you are going to take today. I will read them. I will cheer for you. And please, subscribe to this channel. 70 years later, I am going to document my trip to Ireland. I am going to show you my terrible piano playing. I am going to spend the rest of my life proving that it is never too late to start, but it is always too late to wait. Get up. Go do it. Your later is now.